Today I want to tell you all the story of meeting my wife. It's a story that is a miracle that continues to unfold and that I continue to learn from as that goes on. And it's a story that I'm filled with joy to share with you, not just because it has changed and lifted my life, but also because I think it might help shine a light for those of us who, like me, feel so or have felt so isolated and disconnected by our increasingly interconnected world. It's a story that begins with a strange observation. I'm talking to a work colleague. I've got a lot of time on my hands. We're talking about libraries, and I realize I don't actually have a library card. My colleague looks at me and says, "Greg, everyone needs a library card. What are you thinking?" So I think, oh, of course, I'm gonna go get a library card. Anyway, so when I'm out on one of my daily walks, take myself out to the library, I go get the card. And as I'm there, I notice on the wall, events being posted, concerts, things happening. Me having a lot of time on my hands, I'm thinking about how to use that time. I see a concert that captures my interest. Boom, calendar. In a week's time, I'm there at the concert. It's a Shetland fiddler and an American piano player just making a raucous stomp and filling this community space with light and laughter and love. And it's just this beautiful, heart-filling experience. The funny thing about it, though, is that everyone's sitting down for it. And in my bones, I feel yes, it's what's expected. There's seating set out. It is a concert. But in my bones, I feel there's something not quite complete here. It's with that sense of incompletion that I amble on over to the side table, intermission, where there's snacks and ads and flyers. I noticed that one of the things being advertised is a community contra dance happening in that very hall every single week. It advertises live music. It advertises beginner friendly with a free lesson. And I think to myself, okay, I guess we're doing this. Boom, put it on the calendar, year turns over, and I go. When I show up to the dance, I'm full of yearnings that I'm really trying to be cool about. My life had taken a very lonely dive over the prior years, and I was really trying not to attach myself too much to any possibility of the future, because I had a sense, an intuition that the more I sought out the completion of my yearnings, whether it be another person or another possibility, but the more I sought that out, the further I get away from it. So it's with this spirit that I throw myself into the dance. And what I discovered there is this incredible way of connecting with human beings that I had no idea about. Rather than speaking, communicating, verbalizing like we're doing here, like the whole internet trains us to do, it is a completely nonverbal way of being. Just communicated with hands and touch and your bodies, and especially with your eyes. The eye contact with another soul on the dance floor is far more electrifying than any touch that happens on it, in my opinion. And I loved it so much. I loved it so much that I forgot that I had no idea what I was doing. Zero clue. And like a sort of dog in the surf, I just threw myself in after the frisbee and went for it. And I spent as much of my life dancing as I could, especially in those early days. While I was doing this, I was, of course, interacting with my yearnings and noticing the people I was dancing with. And when I had a connection with someone on the dance floor, I would treat that as a clue. Oh, here's a connection, a possibility. And usually I try to seek this person out during intermission or before or after the dance, just to exchange a few words, say hello, It was nice dancing with you. Where you coming from, basic chatter. And, sometimes the connection sort of continues, but sometimes it's very clear that it was just a dancing connection. Passing by a beautiful stream right now. Morning.
Morning.
Sometimes the connection is just on the dance floor. That's okay. But when it continues off the dance floor, it creates a question mark in my heart of whether there could be something of a sympathetic yearning. Now, I'm playing this cool. By intention and by action, or so I hope. Morning again, doing the loops. And as you can see, I'm out for my morning walk in this beautiful place that I now reside in with my wife. I mean, we don't live here in the trees, but rather beside them. And other walkers out. Certainly beautiful about bumping into others on the path, but I digress. So, where was I? Dancing, feeling for the sympathetic yearning within another, and not wanting to leap, or maybe being scared to leap might be more like it, which, if you know me outside the screen, you might be surprised to hear about, but it is true. I have a few close encounters with the woman that I would, a year and a half later, call my wife. The first of these was on during Holy Week, when I had just, as another story that I'll plant a little seed for, rediscovered and reaffirmed my Christianity. And I was going through a very emotional time reconfirming that in the church. And the dances on Friday nights, of course, overlapped with Good Friday. So I went to the dance late on Good Friday, full of everything that Good Friday fills a soul and a heart with. Just this sense of the burden of the sacrifice that we make in order to make the world and create room for new life, for rebirth. And as I'm getting to the dance, I'm pulling up, it's dark out. It's cool, not cold. And outside the hall, there's a single light over the front door and a bench with some stairs. And as I get up there, I see someone sitting upon the bench. As I get closer, I recognize it's, of course, the woman who would be my wife. Morning. And when I come up to her to say hello, I'm ready to just say hi. I'm feeling kind of sitting back in my heart. And without saying anything, she just throws her arms around me. This gal who I had an electric connection with on the dance floor. I had some pleasant connections with. But this is the first time that there was something of a commencement of that connection. It felt too good to be true, and I didn't let myself believe in it. But I was grateful for it, grateful to her, and of course, I took her inside and asked her to dance. Weeks later, dances later, another near miss that I'll share with you and hopefully provoke a little bit of levity in all this, because it's just funny. It's just funny how people miss each other. It's funny that we're not all connected, that we're all so separated. We all have these incredible abilities of communication, verbalization, and yet the secret yearnings of our heart are so disguised. There's something just so beautiful and comedic about that. And so on this particular night, we're dancing, having a great time. She's getting ready to leave early. During intermission, she's sitting down, putting on her street shoes. I know this means that she's getting ready to go. And whereas I am committed to dancing the full night and breaking out a proper sweat. And so I go over to say hello, say goodnight. Say, of course, had a great time dancing with you. Safe trip home and all. And as we're talking, the words start to fall a little short, and something else enters the air between us. Some feeling of energy crackles. I feel her eyes looking up at me in that moment like moonbeams peering into the back of my head, and it just clears my mind. I have not a thought. I don't have any sense of what is happening or what I'm supposed to say. And I look at my hands, and in one of them is a water bottle, and I say, I need some water. So she says, okay, well, good night then. I say, good night. And I just stride away to get my water. And of course, my mind starts to re-enter my skull as I'm walking away. And I realize, Greg, you should have asked to walk her to her car. What were you thinking? The thing about these community dances and a lot of these social community spaces is that the cool thing is you get to spend a lot of time around somebody and feel them out before you ever go on a date with them, before you sit across a table over coffee with them. That's a wonderful thing. But the thing about it too is it can be really difficult to curate enough of a quiet space to really say, hey, can I take you out sometime? And so I identified that chance to walk her to her car as one of those. And of course, I turn myself around, run back to where she last was, and she's long gone into the night, and we miss each other. Oops. Well, a few weeks later, and I'm really feeling the loneliness and isolation of my life and the disconnection. I moved into a new place, left an old life behind. That's another story that I really want to tell y'all. And I make a decision at the dance that night, after having a couple dances with the people I've connected with previously. In my heart, I settle into a sense of, this is what it is. This is who I am. And that's good. It's not just okay, it's good. I am on my own. I'm complete in that. And I don't need another to be okay. And I gave myself 5 years, 10 years, however long it took to be in that place I needed to be and to be okay without another half to my heart. That night, I'm going to the after party after the dance, and the gal who shot the moonbeams into my eyes and who embraced me on Good Friday, I was kind of hanging out after the dance to see if she was going to the after party as well. And as I was hanging around waiting for her, I had the very clear sense there is another gentleman from the dance who was also waiting for her. And I just had a strong intuitive hunch there is a connection trying to form there. And I made a decision to step away from it. I said, you know what? I'm good. I let them and that be. Took myself to the party, had a great time as myself. About an hour in, this gal, this delight, unglues herself from the intention of this other gentleman who left the dance with her to go to the party as well. And she literally bumps into me when I'm talking with a friend of mine about like tabletop RPGs or something he's really interested in. Can't remember the details. But she literally bumps into me and says, what are y'all talking about? And of course, she has no idea about the stuff we're talking about, but she has made a strange decision to put herself right next to me. And I pay close attention to that. We continue the conversation. It gets late. I can see she's getting tired. And I say, oh, it's getting late. Do you like need to go? And she's like, oh, no. She wants to continue something. I can feel it. And so I suggest, oh, let's find a quiet place then. How about like the stairway? It's not a big place. It's like a townhouse. So there's stairways going up each level. And I decide to park us side by side in the stairwell. And suddenly the party goes quiet, and there's just the two of us. And there's something about this space around us that just thrums with possibility. I can't even remember what we talked about. Actually, I can remember a couple things, but they're just little details that in the telling of this are only important insofar as they're a part of this story. And long story short, or short story long, as in my case, we get to the end of the night. I say, can I walk you to your car? Yeah. And then, well, if I can walk you to your car, can I also take you out sometime? Maybe a cup of coffee or lunch? She says, yeah. So I walk her back to her car. She spends a little more time feeling out where I am. There's another layer to this story that I want to share with you another time, which is be my wife's perspective on our meeting and how she encountered me. Maybe I can convince her to tell you all about it. Actually, I think that'd be pretty cool. But what I will share is that she told me later that she had been paying close attention to me for a while, for a couple of months. But she kept getting mixed signals from me, not being clear if I was really available, really interested. But that night, it shifted. The night that I decided to be okay, being on my own, was the same night that she sensed that I really was interested, and I really was there and present and available for something new. And so something new began, and many more stories to be told about that. But today I wanted to share this story, not as a lesson, or at least if it is a lesson, one that I myself am still learning from. During the time before this, I tried dating apps, and I can't tell you how grateful I was to have met someone in this way, without having a screen between us, without having any kind of a strange representation, but just the person in the room, and time, and shared experience, and a new love, and a great love, and the love of my life. I couldn't be more blessed. Today I pass that blessing on to you, my friends. Have a great week. Go put yourself out into the world. Make a fool of yourself. And be okay, because you are. Till next time, God bless. Morning. Oh, didn't hit the button. Try that again.